Hey, my name is Logan Cannon, and this is my speech about ISIS. ISIS has been an issue that not only the United States has had to deal with, but also other places around the world. According to CNN, ISIS is known for killing dozens of people at a time and carrying out public executions and other acts. It has taken over large swamps of northern and western Iraq. ISIS is short for Islamic States in Iraq and Syria and controls territory the size of Britain. Ian Johnson says ISIS now controls a military force of 10,000 people. Today I will tell you about the threats and issues that the Islamic States in Iraq and Syria have caused in different places. After reading articles from the NBC News, I discovered information about a man that served in the United States military in Iraq before moving to Syria, where he then changed his name. In October of 2013, a man that changed his name to Abdul Kingskin was 26 years old and served in the military in Iraq before becoming an aid worker in Syria. His name before he changed it was Peter. Changing his name from an American name was to help him when he converted to the Islamic culture. This was a move that reporter Henning says Americans would explain as the best way to give his strength to deal with the difficulties of this culture. The ISIS is holding U.S. former military soldier Peter Kazgin hostage, and the high officials are doing everything they know to do to try and get Peter back to America to his family. Since sometime in August, ISIS has been releasing videos showing the beheading of many American journalists. Kingston was married and divorced in all of just 2 years, and after this happened, he felt like he needed a game changer in his life. On spring break, he took a trip to Syria, and the way he saw it, he knew he couldn't leave it that way. He felt as if he was put there for a reason. So he began having food and medical supplies delivered to them, and while on the route to help the people get better, he was kidnapped by ISIS. Peter changed his name because he was captured, and his parents are still sending out video messages today. Another one of our American people was on an assignment to cover news about what was going on in Syria. He was a journalist named James Foley. While he was there on his mission, he was captured by ISIS in November of 2012, according to ABC News. Foley's family, United States officials, and reporter kept this capturing a secret until the parents of the American journalist in January of 2013 began to beg for their sons back. There is aid going to the ISIS from the United States. Most of the aid is medical supplies and food, which is meant for the Syrians and the civilians that are hungry. From reading the Daily Beast, the U.S. International Development, European donors, and the United Nations are funding this organization. Whether this act continues is not the question, because stopping this funding could hurt and kill many innocent civilians. There is no evidence that the Islamic States are thankful for this, but as the Bible tells you, feed your enemies if they're hungry, if they are thirsty, give them something to drink. There is fear, though, that if the funding is not monitored properly, ISIS will begin to use this funding to win over the people and plans that they have. They will do this by feeding the hungry if they agree to be on their side and devote themselves to ISIS. If this happens, ISIS will be a great and powerful army, because that will leave them more money for war supplies and building their military up, and less time worrying about using the money to provide food for the military and for the hungry civilians. This would cause ISIS to be unbeatable, and that is the last thing that anyone wants it to come down to. Today I have told you about ISIS and some events and issues that they have done to Americans and what ISIS is all about. ISIS is Islamic States in Iraq and Syria that have taken over territory the size of Britain and have a military of 10,000 people. ISIS is causing many issues around the world today, and many people aren't really aware of the damage they are doing, not only to places that they have come in contact with, but also what they are doing to American people. They are a big militant group that can do big things if the United States and our allies don't get together and provide a plan to actually take them down once and for all. They are kidnapping innocent Americans and holding them hostage. The U.S. and other places are funding them with food and medical supplies, which in my opinion should have never started to begin with. But hopefully the U.S. and the other forces will pull together and take them down for good, and the things we did will pay off on our part in the end. Thank you.